What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, the Houston, Texas Homer Network. We're talking all sports, but only Houston. I am being joined today by a gentleman, the opposition, but a well-informed member of the opposition. If you don't remember him from last year, this is Mr. UngarToTheMax. If you would allow you to reintroduce yourself, sir, for those who may not have caught you last year when we were able to.
Yeah, so Sauce Sports, I came on the show last year for our game. So I am a Cleveland Browns fan, Cleveland Browns YouTuber. Yeah.
Okay. And so, and like I say, last year's matchup didn't have the best outcome for us. You know, you guys.
It wasn't the greatest game for us either. It was 10-7.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I wouldn't say it was the most entertaining football game.
No, especially because it had like a 3-hour weather delay.
Yeah, they sure did have that delay. I forgot about it. Yeah, that was crazy. Almost didn't think the game was gonna come on. Real quick, y'all know we're doing the Sauce, man. Sauce Nation roll call. Hey, if you are from the Greater Houston area, shout out to Side with Pride. If you're not from the Greater Houston area, well, sucks to be you. No, I'm just joking. Hey, we'll send digital love wherever you may be. Drop that real quick, and then, like I said, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into what's kind of going on, because I think we got two teams that we're talking about here, both prior to the season expected to go differently than the way things worked out in Week 1. A lot of people very high on the Browns, and I don't know if you guys are used to hearing that, because I know the Browns have traditionally been kind of looked down upon. And then the Texans, with everything that's happened, especially over the last couple of years, the number 4 debacle, everything that we're dealing with right now, we're not expected to win a single game. But things kind of reversed last week, but we're going to get into that because I think there's a lot of factors that played into both of the outcomes for both of these teams. So, real quick, who we got in the mix? No, I don't do those kind of things. My town trill shenanigans. I don't do any of that negative stuff. I'm a good clean. My body is my temple. San Antonio in the building. Trinity Gardens in the building. Let's see. Well, if y'all don't want to shout out where y'all from, but then forget y'all. Then we gonna get into the talking. So last week you guys took on a Super Bowl contender, right? And then we took on a team who was the bottom of the barrel. So I think these are two factors, one that we both have to look at when it comes to the win and the loss, right? So let's kind of take it to y'all's side, because like I said, I know all the Texans fans here, they already know what happened with the Texans, and so they're very familiar. But you being an avid Browns fan, like how are you feeling going into the game? And then as things kind of progressed, ultimately, did you expect that outcome? Did you expect the Browns to really to win? I mean, just ultimately, what did you feel going through that game last week?
So going into that game against Kansas City, I did not think we were going to win because we have like 7 or 8 new players on the defensive side, and so it's very difficult to bring in that many new defensive players and go up against an offense like Kansas City, where they have Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who can all go off and just wreck you. I mean, we both have firsthand experience of what the Chiefs can do in the divisional round.
Yeah. That's been the downfall of the Texans ever since.
Yeah, although we didn't hold a 24-0 lead. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about
it. By the way, I'm only like 7 subscribers away from 400. So if anybody from Sauce Sports wants to subscribe and help me reach that 400 plateau, that would be absolutely amazing.
I know how we do in the Sauce, man. We don't do nothing but show love in the Sauce. So, hey, if y'all want to stay on top of the Browns going to be a hot team this year. I think, last week was just kind of a thing. One of the most knowledgeable guys out there when it comes to the Browns. Go subscribe to Ungar's channel. Matter of fact, I think I forgot to put the link in when I was getting everything going. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up right now, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So you got no excuse. So I'm trying to find the thing on the screen. But y'all have no excuse as to why you don't have 400 by the end of the stream. If y'all don't do it, I don't know if y'all saucy enough, man. But like I said, so you like to go ahead. I'm sorry.
But we were able to establish the running game early, and it really helped Baker Mayfield. We've seen that where if we can establish our running game, it allows Baker to actually play well because he doesn't have to play with straight drop back passes. He can play out of the play action game and run those bootlegs, and he seems to be better playing that sort of style than just straight drop back. And there's an interesting factor in this game. So your starting quarterback is Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason Baker Mayfield even came in 2018 is because in our Week 3 Thursday night game against the Jets, Tyrod got injured and was out for the rest of the game. So that meant Baker Mayfield came in and played the rest of that season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tyrod Taylor has a little bit of revenge on his mind coming into this game.
Yeah, that's something I was definitely wondering, because you got a couple of guys, and him and
Pharaoh Brown, I know.
Exactly. You got Pharaoh Brown, and then on your end you have Clowney, who was a long-time Texan.
Yeah, we do.
And so there's something there. So there's going to be a few guys who may be familiar with the other side, and so I think that'll kind of be a little bit more motivation for them to play and to go hard this game. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a much better game than last year. At least I hope.
Right. I mean, here's what I'm wondering with you guys. Was what you guys did last week by playing up 37 points, I believe it was, that you put up against Jacksonville. Was that just the fact that you were playing Jacksonville, or do you think that's actually what your offense can look like this season?
And now, depending on who you ask, you're going to get a whole lot of different reactions. I am of the mindset, because of everything that happened, that I have no expectations when it comes to the Texans. I think that's partially Jacksonville, but I think that there is some potential there because we saw some things that we didn't even expect that this squad would do against Jacksonville. So there may be a few wrinkles there that, that they may actually perform better than people are giving them credit for. It was all of a sudden, you were a terrible team last year. You basically lose number 4, so everybody's automatically counts you out. He was your only star player. You lost, Will Fuller, who apparently might not be playing for Miami this year is a possibility. He's not playing this week. He might not play at all. And so, you lost all your talent. JJ's gone, and so you're just kind of a situation, wow, they don't have anybody. They're automatically dismissed. I was even dismissing them. I said maybe, you get 4 games this year, maybe 5. A lot of people were saying, 0-17. I thought that's a little bit ridiculous. But they came out. I think these guys have a chip on their shoulder. I think they have something to prove. And I think a lot of people sleep on how competent Tyrod Taylor actually is. I think a lot of people just kind of, he's moved around a lot, so it's like, oh, veteran journeyman, he's just a place filler. Tyrod's a good quarterback. He's just had a lot of unfortunate situation everywhere he's bounced around to. You had kind of a rookie waiting in the wings, and that was that guy's chance to take over the team that was inevitably going to be his. So,
right.
And then part of it is Jacksonville. Jacksonville is going to Jacksonville. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Jacksonville is going to Jacksonville. I like that.
Yeah, and so and people say, oh well, it's Urban Meyer, rookie head coach. Well, we got a rookie head coach. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of evens out. Trevor Lawrence, I think, of course, when you first get in the league, preseason is one thing. Live action when the games really matter, I think, is a different thing because that's when the record counts. And I hated the fact that they kind of let him, stuff the stat sheet a little bit towards the end. But he's got a few things he's definitely going to have to work on. But like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by what the Texans did. I'm still, though, the thing I'm out on the Texans is really their run defense. And with going against you guys, that's my biggest concern. Baker, I'm not super high on him. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I just think he can be frustrated. I think you can kind of handle Baker, but that rushing attack that you guys have, that's a hell of a 1-2 punch. And so I don't know what the Texas defense really is as far as stopping the run right now.
Yeah, I get that, and I feel like last year's game was kind of an anomaly because, as we talked about, there was a weather delay. It was bad conditions. Neither team could really find their footing, it felt like. And, I mean, you didn't have to deal with Odell in that game, and you won't have to deal with him again this week because he was already ruled out. But, so, do you feel like that helps attack the Texans by not having to face Odell again?
I would definitely say so because I definitely believe that there are questions in this secondary. And I think that the Jags, I think they have some decent receivers. But again, like I say, with the rookie wrinkles that you got to deal with, Lawrence, I think the Texans were able to take advantage of that. I think Lovey put guys in position to take advantage of that. You got a guy like Baker's a little bit more experienced, and not having Odell, who is, when healthy, one of the better guys in the league, not having to face that definitely helps. So I'm not going to sleep on Landry, though, because Landry's still a solid player. And then I know you guys got some tight ends that can definitely cause some damage. So,
David Njoku, Harrison Bryant, Austin Hooper. We got a three-headed monster at tight end.
And tight end has definitely been a bane of the Texans for years now. So we'll have to definitely see, if they've improved in that area. Or if it's still going to be an issue. So, like I said, with Odell not being there, that's a plus. But again, like I said, you guys still have some weapons that can do a lot of damage to this defense if they're not ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who on the Texans offense would you say that we have to concern ourselves with the most?
That's a tough one, right? Because and you saw Cooks have a good game, and I'm not the biggest Brandon Cooks fan, but he definitely made some big plays. He had some real big catches. I'm kind of hoping that the rookie Nico can have a chance to shine. I would like to see him get up and get. I know he's still got some things he's kind of got to work on. It's kind of hard to call it right now. Pharaoh's coming into his own here in Houston. He's kind of starting to look like a man amongst boys. So I think that, again, with him having something to prove, he's talked about a lot this week. Hey, I still got a lot of family out there. I got friends out there. And then the way things kind of ended on there, he wasn't too happy about it. So, I'm always a firm believer in most players to me who are gamers. They hold that. They hold on to that, and they go and they play better either where they were raised up or against an ex-team or somebody who may have passed over. If they keep that in their mind, so I think he has something that he's going to want to get off his chest against Cleveland. So I think that he might be a guy that you want to pay attention to. As far as the running back stable, I know Ingram's leading that, and I think it's kind of a weird situation. You got two younger guys. Y'all got two hogs that can do a lot of damage. We got a lot of older gentlemen who, in their prime were definitely threats. But Mark looked pretty good. I would say Ingram looked real good last week, so I'm not gonna sleep on him. And then the fact that they have plenty of guys they can rotate out, keep fresh.
Yeah.
That bodes well. I know people are happy for David Johnson. And I got a lot of questions about DJ because, again, to me, just what I've seen from him, it just looks like he's kind of fearing that contact. So I don't know about him too much, but the other guys are definitely I like Lindsey. Hopefully Scottie Phillips can get a chance to shine. Burkhead is neither here nor there, but so and I forgot all about Amendola. Amendola coming in and was an asset early. I mean, he didn't have a lot of yards, but again, to only be there for a week and to kind of put points on the board, and like I say, he's already familiar with the offense, so he's a little older, but again, somebody not to sleep on.
So it sounds like you're saying you don't have like that one go-to guy, really. You guys have more of like a platoon of guys that can make plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of how it is. It's a committee situation. Yeah, I would definitely say.
Yeah, those two. When a team has a committee style, I would say that's a little more dangerous because you can't really zero in on one guy.
Okay, I would say so.
Like when you guys had Hopkins before Bill O'Brien was an idiot and traded him to Arizona for pretty much a ham sandwich.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that was one of the worst trades I've ever seen. You guys made the right decision by getting rid of him. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. It took a little bit too
ruined
long.
You.
Yeah, it took a little bit long. We're going to be, paying dues for that for a little while. But, eventually, if we can get rid of Ford and get some good assets for him, I think that we could. I still don't know the mindset of Caserio, but I believe that we may be able to turn this thing around a little bit quicker than some are anticipating. It just depends on what they're willing to accept for Watson and, and if they really get that. But like I said, kind of looking at you guys, like, how are you guys feeling, this year? Because again, like I say, I've seen some people pick you guys as Super Bowl contenders. And again, last week you guys played Super Bowl contender. So you mentioned a lot of new pieces on defense. I mean, are you guys feeling comfortable with the defense, with the addition of Clowney and with him being X-Tech, and how are you feeling about him? And then your overall thoughts on Baker and what you guys think you can get out of him.
So with Clowney, I'm not totally sure what to expect because it seems like he had one good year. He had a good season with Seattle, but like it didn't seem like he really did much with Tennessee. So, and he had some good seasons with you guys, and then other seasons while he was there, it was like Clowney, are you there? It was like. So, I'm just expecting him to be good at this point. He doesn't have to be great or elite. Not when he's paired with Myles Garrett along the defensive line. Yeah. As for the overall defense, yeah, we brought in like John Johnson from the Rams. We brought in Troy Hill, also from the Rams. We brought in Anthony Walker from the Colts. So we tried to make a lot of additions. Maybe some of those were reactionary to how our game against Kansas City in the playoffs went last year. But I think it's going to be like our offense from last season where it was Stefanski's first year. It was Alex Van Pelt's first year as offensive coordinator. So it took us a few games to really figure out our offensive identity and know what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. We didn't come out with this two-headed monster right away. I would say it didn't really take effect till, like around the time we played you. I wouldn't say like the game against you was where we really found our identity, but I would say it was around that time, if you know what I'm saying. And as for Baker, he comes in week 3 against the Jets after Tyrod got injured. He led us to a win in that game, and he played pretty well the rest of that season. He had ups and downs, had some good games and some not so good games. I think one of those games was against you guys in Houston where he got absolutely wrecked, threw like 5 or 6 interceptions, I think it was.
Yeah, he had a wild game. Yeah, I do remember that.
I think the game against you guys last year, that was our first win against you in like 5 or 6 games, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it had been a while. I think the overall series with us is 7-4-0. So yeah, but it's been a few gaps in between. And like I said,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting if y'all put them back to back.
So I want to win this game, not just because, I want to get the taste of the Kansas City game out of our mouth, but to show that, like, hey, last year's game against Houston wasn't a fluke. And I don't know, maybe I'm being crazy to say this, but you kind of addressed it. Like, you guys aren't I'm not going to say you're, like, bottom of the barrel, because I don't think you are. You're not, like, a Jacksonville or some other teams. Or, like, you're not Jacksonville. You're not Detroit. You're not the Jets, So you're not like garbage, bottom of the barrel. I would say a little below average.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think we're down there ultimately until we prove otherwise. And so I think that we're kind of. I don't think we have that identity as to who and exactly what we are yet. For now, like I said, it was 2 presumably bad teams that played each other last week. We were the better of the 2. And I'm like, my thing is though, I'm gonna take every win I can get, so I'm not gonna shit on that. But I think ultimately we'll prove to be better than a lot of people may have given us. But right now, I don't think I don't want to say we're in the middle of the pack. I don't want to say we're up. I definitely don't want to say we're up there. Until, like I said, I see it play out on the field.
Right. So, and I wasn't saying, like, any of that to insult the Texans or Texans fans. I just think you're a little bit middle of the road. That's what happens when you finish in third place. It means, like, you're average, pretty much. That's why we're playing you guys, is because we both finished in third place last season. We also played the Patriots as a result of the third place schedule, so that's not going to be fun. But I would say for us, it's like I don't want to. How do I say this? With us having such high expectations, like some people are saying, yeah, we are Super Bowl contenders. A lot of people, including myself, are saying with the injuries that Baltimore has and Pittsburgh kind of being on the down low a little bit, we should win the AFC North this season. We should. And so, because of that, if we somehow lose to you on Sunday, I feel like that is not going to be a good look.
Yeah, what is it? It's I forgot what the percentage is, but yeah, teams that generally start off 0-2, their playoff numbers decline significantly. But my thing is just that, like I say, I think it's kind of the reverse side of the coin for us. If the Texans go out, and again, like I said, a team like the Browns, who a lot of people are expecting to win a lot of games, and again, you take the loss against Kansas City, I mean, it's Kansas City, so nobody's saying, oh, look at them, they are who we thought they were.
But we hung right. But you gotta admit, we hung in with the Chiefs like all the way through.
Exactly, and so that's what I say. So to us, it's like I think there's more upside for us if we win than it is necessarily for you guys. For you guys, it's more like okay, now we're back on track doing what we're supposed to be doing. But if the Texans come in and find some way to steal this one, or as many people are looking at it, because I've seen a lot of the quote-unquote experts, I don't believe in experts, everybody in the Sauce knows that, the experts are just going all in on the Browns. And last week they went all in on the Jags. And, I think anybody can say, hey, the Jags, you guys are a little too excited about Trevor Lawrence. He's got some flaws. But so I think if we can pull one away, I think, again, I'm still not going to be on the mindset, the Texans are going to take it all this year. I would be extremely surprised. But, again, with this team, I just feel like the way things are, it's going to have to be a game by game. I think even with, the committee deal and everything, it's an injury away from being devastating. You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood. If Tyrod goes down, it's done. I have absolutely no faith in whatever his name is, Mims, David Davis, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Is Deshaun Watson like even on your depth chart?
The whole deal with Deshaun, he's basically getting paid to stay home. Like, I don't even know if he's in the locker room. I don't know if he's got a locker. Like, the thing with Deshaun is, like I said, he's inactive. I don't think they got him around. I'm not sure if he's at practice or anything like that. Like, I think they just want that distraction out of the building because, I mean, you just got to think about it, knowing that, say Tyrod has a bad game, say something does happen to Tyrod and Mills comes in, Deshaun knowing he doesn't want to play, knowing he doesn't really want to be a part of this franchise. Like, it's a distraction. It's like, well, why isn't he going in? Or why ain't we, playing him? Or you do play him, something happens, injury, trade assets may decline. You know what I mean? Because I'm of the mindset, some people are still, hey, we want to bring Deshaun back. I'm of the mindset, let's get rid of him. Let's get him out the city. Apparently, obviously, he doesn't want to be here. What other shenanigans he got going on behind the scenes, that's none of my business. But let's get what we can get for him. Let's move on from that era, and let's, figure out who we are, what our identity is going to be moving forward. Because
what is your offensive identity, or do you feel like you don't have one yet?
I think it's going to take some time because somebody else had asked that question on Twitter, and I was driving, so I didn't get a chance to answer it. So, Mike B, if you catch this later, like I don't think we're in a position as a team to say we have any identity. Period. Like I think it's going to take. I'm not going to say I will not identify that man as Money Mills, Derek. Absolutely not. But. The thing is,
you're talking about Davis Mills.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to snap in the NFL. You can't call him Money yet.
Yeah. I refuse to. Hey, you gotta do something good to earn a nickname. And I just he's in an unfortunate situation, getting drafted after the number 4 debacle and everything going in. So a lot of people, he's not gonna be that guy. It's just you had to pick a quarterback. A lot of other names off the board were gone at that time, so you do what you did. But I don't think the Texans have an identity, and I think it's gonna take at least 3 to 4 games before we can sit here and say, before we can say that they do. Because again, you play a team like Jacksonville, it is what it is. Then you play a better team, say the Browns, and you just kind of gotta see how they perform against various teams. What are they leaning towards? And I know we're going to be a run heavy. I expect to be run heavy. Defensively, we seem to be opportunistic right now. But I don't know what we are against a quality running team. I don't know what we are against a star receiver. So I think that we have to see a couple of things first before I can say, oh, this is their identity. This is who the Texans are. This is a whole new team with about 30 new players on the team, new coaching staff, new GM. It's just so much going on. Like I say, you just have to take it week by week and let these things ultimately play out before I can say that they're this or that they're that or any of these things. So,
right.
Like I say, I'm just going with flex. I say right now, no expectations. I'm just watching it and just seeing what it is. But
that's how I felt with the. That's how I felt with the Browns for so many years. It's like, well, we're going to be a shitty team this year, so why have expectations on them? And here's my thing. The last time we had high major expectations like this was in 2019. We trade with the Giants and bring in Odell Beckham Jr. We made a lot of other acquisitions, and we're in the spotlight, and we're in like five primetime games, I think it was. And what ended up happening? Boom! Fell flat on our face with 6-10 that year. Yeah. We went for a draw play on 3rd and 9 against the Rams. And, we had like 3 or 4 chances down by the end zone in that same game. And we passed it every time. And we're like, are we not going to try and run the ball? Or like in that same season, we go to San Francisco on Monday Night Football and get absolutely blown out. So I don't know what to do with this team because it's like we didn't really have expectations last year given what happened in 2019. And we go 11-5, get third place because we couldn't beat the Baltimore Ravens. And, finish in third place. But we go into Pittsburgh and stomp them. I know. The score makes it seem like it was a close game. It wasn't. And then many fans and experts are saying that if Mahomes doesn't get hurt in that playoff game last year, Chiefs would have blown us out by like 20 or 30. So,
and that's kind of curious what I feel like to ask you is like, and you say you kind of don't know because of things that happen, but what would you say the pulse of the Browns fan base is right now? Do you think that the Browns fans feel like the team has turned a corner? Like, because again, like I said, y'all kind of were the joke, or they used to have a guy with the quarterback shirts with all the names on it, and the jerseys, whatever, and different things like that. And it just seemed like there would be just a negative energy seeming like coming out of Cleveland. Like, do you think that fans have kind of turned the page? They're throwing away the paper bag faces and all that? I mean, or do you think most people like you kind of still try to figure out if y'all are really there yet?
I would say a majority of the dog pound, which is the nickname for Browns fans, would say we have turned the corner and we are legit. I want to say that because given what happened last year and the success we had, but again, we have high expectations again this year, and that didn't go so well in 2019. So I'm on the fence. I'm like, maybe we are actually there, but maybe last year was just a fluke. I don't know.
Okay. And then when you're looking around your division as a whole, do you see? I know you've kind of mentioned it, but do you think Baltimore will be able to bounce back from their situation, or do you guys really feel like it's y'all's to take this year?
It's given, the thing is, the Steelers are the Steelers until they're not.
That's true.
So many people say they're on a downturn, but for God's sakes, they went into Buffalo and beat the Bills last week. And the Bills are like us, where they're projected to be one of the top teams in the AFC. And some people are picking the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. So, the Pittsburgh's going to be Pittsburgh until they're not. Baltimore, I don't know if they can recover from their injuries. They had to sign Latavius Murray and Devontae Freeman. So I don't know if Baltimore can overcome their injuries. And Cincinnati, I hate to say it, but they're still going to be the bottom dweller.
Yeah,
they might be an improved team, but I don't think they're ready to make noise this season. I kind of feel like you guys are coming into a buzzsaw a little bit, because if we had beaten Kansas City last week, it would have been, First Energy Stadium would have been a total eruption, a madhouse. But at the same time, given our success from last year, and we're going to have all our fans back, you guys are might be coming into a bit of a buzzsaw. Because we're going to be coming in with our hair on fire, knowing that we should have won that game last week. Because it was just self-inflicted wounds, or not self-inflicted wounds, but self-induced mistakes, if you will, that really cost us that game. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout. I've seen the spread is Cleveland's favored -13 or -12, whatever.
It's going up. That's the crazy part. It's going up. It started, I think it was 12, then it went 12 and a half, now it's 13. I saw some earlier. And that's the crazy thing. Do you think that, I'm wondering if it's because so many people are betting on on Cleveland or what it is. They're expecting this to be. I'm not a gambling man, but I almost want to put some money on the Texans, but they say never bet on your team because then you lose twice. But so
yeah.
There's that.
Do you agree that you guys are coming in? It's gonna be a bit of a buzzsaw game.
That's what I say. Like, and I know Cleveland fans can be wild; they can be very rowdy. I think the Texans, though, like I said, you got a lot of veteran guys on there who've been a lot of places. So I think that I don't know if it'll get them flustered. I don't know if it'll be a thing. Maybe some of the younger guys. But like I said, I think the Texans are playing with house money. It's a situation where if they lose, well, who cares? Everybody expected them to lose. But if they win, now everybody's having a different conversation about them. You know what I mean? I think everybody's having they're saying different things. Even myself, because I picked I think originally in the beginning of the season I picked the Texans to lose to you guys. And so, like I said, it'll be a different conversation. So no matter what, even the GMs come out this year, this is not an outcome-driven year. So every game that they go into, every game that they come out on top, if they win anymore, we should at least beat the Jags again this year. But it's that much more potent for them. But I got a question about a guy. Somebody asked. Terrence Mitchell was a guy used to be for you guys. So another name that we didn't mention earlier. What are your thoughts on him?
He's played well for us. Sometimes I honestly forget he's out there because it seems like he doesn't always make the plays that he should. And then there'll be other times where it's like, oh, you actually made a play. Good job.
Okay. Let me see some. How far off are you? We trying to get Mr. Unger. Let me see that. I think I still got to save them on my clipboard. I should have it. Y'all show Mr. Unger to the max some love, especially for coming through here and breaking it down. The Cleveland. We're going to Cleveland. Okay. Because the Texans have no prime time. I think we got a Thursday night game. That's like the only prime time.
Yeah, you have a Thursday night game next week against Carolina.
No, well, there's that. And I think we'll find out what we are. I think that we'll find out about our run stopping this week, and if it's not good, then I'm not going to be looking forward to that. But yeah, like I said, we're getting to Mr. Unger to 400, man. So like I said, Sauce Nation go show some love. All you gotta go do is hit the subscribe button. It's not that hard. Look, hey, here's the thing though, right? So going to this, and again, I get
4 subscribers away now.
4 away. Hey, come on, pull up a 4, Sauce Nation. We can make a shake.
4 away. Who are gonna be those 4 from Sauce Sports to get me to that 400 mark?
I don't know. We might have to be careful. 4 might be a bad number around here. We that guy.
Yeah. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So my thoughts though is like, what is the perception of the number 4 debacle from a Cleveland fan's perspective? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do y'all have you see it? I mean, maybe talk around around your town. Do people look at it as it's a Deshaun problem? It's a Texans problem? Do they think it's like a whole clusterfuck of a situation? I mean,
right. So I haven't really heard much talk about it around town, really, because around here people just like to talk about the Browns more than anything, because Cleveland is a Browns town. But from my perspective, I would say it's more of a Deshaun problem. Mm-hmm. It's not as much a Texans problem because, yeah, he has his issues with the franchise. Granted, some of those issues are valid given some personnel decisions that were made, such as like trading DeAndre Hopkins, correct, for example. But at the same time, like, Deshaun Watson has his own personal problems. Like, what does he have? Like 22 accounts against him, something like that?
Man, I heard it. I think it's 22 in the lawsuit. I think there's some other allegation. I think it's like 26, 27 total, maybe, around whatever. It's a lot. Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. But yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's more of a Deshaun problem, because it's not just that he has problems with the franchise, but it's also that he has his own personal issues.
Mm-hmm. It was 22 civil cases and 10 criminal complaints. Oh, 32. God damn. I was lowballing. So there's that. Yeah. And again, so what do you think though? Like as you're looking at it, do you think that Texans are asking a lot for him? Do you feel like they're going to get what they're asking for? Do you think there'll be a team that'll be desperate enough to, pay a heavy ransom for him? And he has the no trade clause, and with that, he has the ability to reject. 'Cause I've heard there's been some offers that have kind of been in the Texans ballpark that he possibly may have put the X-nay on.
Right. I feel like the Texans might be asking a little too much. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I understand why they're asking for so much because he's so good. Yeah. When he doesn't have all his personal issues that he's dealing with, he's good as a quarterback. He showed that at Clemson, and I would say he showed that he showed it in stretches while he's been with you guys in Houston. So maybe they're asking a little too much, but I understand why they're asking for so much.
Correct. And I agree. Like I said, I think, because it's a situation where wherever he goes, he's instantly going to turn, if it's a team and their only issue is a quarterback problem, he's going to turn that team around. If it's, some other things, well, we'll have to figure that out. But I agree. And if I'm the Texans, I'm not going to just give him up and let him go somewhere else, especially in the AFC, and then have to come back and deal with him. You know what I mean? So,
right. Like, you wouldn't just trade him to, Miami for, like, a 6th-round pick and maybe, like, a 7th-round pick. Like, that would be ridiculous. You want to at least get, like, a 1st or 2nd-round pick for him. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, and I think me personally, with allegedly the quarterback talent that's coming up, and I know a lot of people are not very high on it. It's a lot of it's kind of neither here nor there coming up in the upcoming drafts, and then availability of the guys. I can see why you put that kind of premium price on him, because we've seen what he's done with little to nothing. He's put on some electrifying performances, but at the same time, I think we've had enough time as Texans fans to kind of start sitting on things, and I think when you start burning some bridges, people go back and they look at some of those things a little bit differently. They look at those situations and they're kind of like, maybe he was more, I won't say more of a problem, but maybe there are more flaws in there than we previously saw. But again, like I say, it's kind of a tough situation to deal with. We thought we had a guy, especially after going so long without having a franchise quarterback, and then he has some personal issues. So, and that's wrong. Okay. Ultimately, I know you said that because you're going to be at the game, right? And
yes, I am.
And so you may not be able to you're not going to be able to do the pregame, of course, and you might not be able to do the postgame. So we do a little thing. I want to get your take on it beforehand. Then, if you were to put a score prediction on the game, what are you ultimately thinking the outcome is going to be?
So I know that the spread right now is -12, -13. But here's the thing. You guys have nothing to lose going into this game. You're already 1-0 this season, so if you lose, you go 1-1. That's not that bad. Whereas if we lose, we go 0-2, and people are going to start saying, like, are the Browns... was last year just a fluke? Are the Browns actually legit? No, we're going to get all these questions and everything. So I would say, I don't want to say it's a must win for the Browns on Sunday, but it's a crucial game. So, but because the Texans are kind of playing with house money and, going into that mindset of, we don't have anything to lose, it's going to be closer than the experts think. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get into the 30s. Texans defense is pretty good. Actually, I'll say we get right to 30. I think we can beat you by. I don't want 30 to 20 isn't terrible.
Okay. No, all right. I'll say like I said, I don't. It'll be Sunday before I give y'all my prediction, Sauce Nation. Y'all know I save it for the segment, but I want to get Mr. Ungar's thought. You say 30 to 20. Let me jot that down. And
yeah, I'll
go
with 30.
The thing we do
Still a close game, but a little more comfortable for us, but not quite as big as the experts said.
And it's another thing we do around here called Mark My Motherfucking Words, and that's where we make a bold prediction. I mean, we just kind of pick a player, pick a person, pick a whomever. Who do you think is going to have a standout game? I mean, you got to put it can't just be like, oh, Baker goes, 22 for 30 for, 247 yards and 2 touchdowns. It can't be anything basic. It can't be an average. It has to be a bold prediction. It doesn't have to be Baker, it could be anybody. If you were to put a bold prediction on this game, what would that be?
Okay. Well, we know that Pharaoh Brown is coming back to Cleveland, so he's going to want to have a big game. And I bet you he's going to go up to Tyrod and say, hey, I want to be featured on the offense because we're going against Cleveland. And I bet Tyrod has that same mindset a little bit. So I'm going to say Pharaoh Brown and Tyrod and Pharaoh hook up for 2 touchdowns.
Okay. That's a bold one. I can see that. That's a bold. Yeah, you got 2 guys who have some personal ties to the team they're playing against, so they're definitely going to both want to do a little something. And Tyrod's mentioned it, and I think Pharaoh has mentioned it too. They've spoken it briefly during some interview sessions this week, so that definitely means it's on their mind. You know what I mean? And Darren, if you want to accept the challenge, you just got to make sure that you don't put the at sign in the name. So make sure if you put whoever you challenge it in the comments, take the at sign out the name, and it should go through. Okay, and that's what I say, man. I think it's going to be very interesting because, like I said, 2 teams initially predicted to go 2 different ways. And week 1, and it's week 1 in the NFL, week 1 never goes the way anybody expects it. You can make all the predictions in the world, prior in the preseason. What you got there?
400!
Oh, bet that. Congratulations. That's what I'm talking about.
We just did it. Thanks, Boss Sports. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Sauce Nation.
That means a lot.
Already, man. Shout out to Sauce Nation.
Thank you, Sauce Nation.
Already. Y'all guys, all right. I'll give y'all some pistachios, but I don't like y'all that much. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be in the streams. Y'all don't do nothing but talk shit, and y'all just come here to steal pistachios. And Trill be timing everybody. I don't even know why he's a mod on this channel. I don't even. You know what? I'm finna scrap this whole thing. I'm finna just rearrange. I'm finna make all new mods because Trill is terrible, and he's just in here picking on people. But okay, that's what's happening though. That's good. Congratulations on that. So I'm glad you hit the 400. I'm glad we were able to help out there. But like I said, it's going to be an interesting thing because we're going. I think it's 2 teams that, like I said, were picked by everybody to go 2 different ways. Texans, everybody's gonna say 0-17. I've heard a lot of nothing but high hope. Even the local asshats around here in Houston, he said, he felt like the Browns were a Super Bowl contender. So, that's why I say I think that this game is going to, like I said, either right the ship for you guys or really change the narrative around what's happening in Houston. And then I also think what happens is people are going to start to ask some questions because if the Texans are able to have some success, right, against this Browns team after everybody's discounted them out, they don't have the talent, they don't have anything like that, and you go and you have success against a team, and in your opinion, would you say this year's team, talent-wise, is better than the last year's team?
I think we're about the same because we brought so many players back, and so I would say we're about the same.
Okay. So if you go into a team,
not necessarily better, not necessarily worse. Okay.
So you go to an equally yoked Browns team that last year, Deshaun only put up a touchdown. Really didn't have that many. It wasn't really that great in the passing game. Yards weren't astounding, and you had weapons in Will Fuller. then you go in this year if the Texans are able to find success without all the bigger, splashier names. If they are able to win against a team that I think people have in their minds have him as rated as a higher Browns team this year, then I think people start looking at Deshaun and say, well, is he all that? I think if the Texans have too much success, it might actually it might diminish number 4's value. But I think that people look at it and say, okay, well, how is this team able to do this without him as opposed to, last year with him? And I think people are going to start looking at that. Now, either it's going to be the Texans are a better unit because they are relying on each other and playing team ball as opposed to sitting back and just letting him run around. And, oh, well, it's a broken play. Let's see what he does. And everybody stopping and staring to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very interesting ultimately. I think there's a lot. I won't say it's still very, very early in the season. I'm not big on the statistics, because people say you make stats to say anything. So even with the 0-2 means it's danger for the playoffs. I think the Texans went what? They had the sketchy season a couple of seasons back and still, made it when the numbers were not in their favor. So, all that shit doesn't really mean things. Like I say, it's just something for people to talk about. But I think that the outcome of this game, if the Texans have success, is going to change some narratives, and I think people are going to go back to saying, "Oh, it's the Browns," they're back to that. But again, like I said, I think you guys are a lot more talented than people are giving y'all credit for. But when is Odell supposed to be back? Is it a week-to-week thing, or do you know?
At this point, I'm really not sure because we held him out last week, and we're holding him out again. Some people are saying he might not come back until week 5 against the Chargers. Other people are saying we should bring him back for week 4 against Minnesota. So it'll probably be sometime in that window. But if you guys are able to hang in with us and keep it a close game, would you say that's a moral victory for the Texans, or do you share the sentiment that there's no such thing as a moral victory?
Yeah, I don't believe in moral victories. You know what I mean? Like, even though, like I said, because I don't believe in experts, and so you'll say people, they're going to blow them out, they're going to blow them out the water. I think there's fans. I think everybody's a fan. I don't care if you played the game for 20 seasons or anything, because you see all these same guys who played in the league, they come out, they make all these predictions, they're always off on their predictions. You got these same guys who go work in the NFL, become coaches or GMs or whatever. Elway, one of the GOATs, can't pick a quarterback for shit. You know what I mean? Like, so you see all these guys who have their opinion. It's all opinion. We're all fans of the game. You just never really know. So I don't believe in moral victories because I think that's why you play the game. You get out there on the field. The better team's going to win any given Sunday. It's kind of that thing. Now, a win, I'll say, and I just want to piss some people off in the sauce, and I don't give a shit. A win is a win, no matter how you get it. If you got to scrape by to get it barely, or if you blow somebody out, a win is a win. And I'll take that, but I don't necessarily believe in the moral victory.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I heard some people saying last week, the Browns, they didn't win the game, but they got a moral victory. Yeah, I'm sorry. Get out of here. Get out of here with that BS. I agree with you. We should have won that game last week. It was if Nick Chubb doesn't fumble, if Jamie Gillum actually remembers how to punt the football, and if Baker Mayfield doesn't throw that interception, we probably win. But the problem is, you look back and it's like, if this didn't happen, and if that didn't happen, and if this didn't happen, it's a bunch of ifs. So I agree with you. There's no such thing as a moral victory. You either won or you lost. It's not one or the other.
Correct. Yeah. I'm gonna throw it up in the chat real quick because as we get started and get to the time where we get ready to start winding down, do you guys have any Browns questions? You guys got any questions for Mr. Unger? And again, we always appreciate you. So anytime that we do go head to head, you're always welcome in the sauce. And I do plan on actually getting back into the basketball this year, even though we ain't got hard. And I think I like the young core of what the Rockets have. So anytime we play Cleveland, if you're interested, I'm definitely. You don't like the community sauce, Derek? Oh, that was great sauce. Positive sauce is the best sauce.
I don't know if you remember, but we swept you guys last year.
I don't even remember last last season. Doesn't even exist in my mind. I just.
Yeah, the Cavs swept the Rockets last year.
No, it was not what was up. Kevin Johnson retired, Mike, if I'm not mistaken. I think Kevin Johnson retired.
So let me ask you this on a separate note.
Okay.
So the Arizona Coyotes, they're getting kicked out of their arena after this season.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of speculation that they could come to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if the Coyotes came, do you think that the city of Houston would embrace the NHL?
I absolutely do. I know there is a lot of people. There's a big push. A lot of people are trying to get an NHL team here in Houston. I want to say when the Arrows were here, I know they weren't NHL. I think there was that IHL, something like that. There was a big fan. Yeah, so I mean
they were in AHL.
Oh, AHL. Okay.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that because I actually went to a Monsters game. The Monsters are the affiliate of the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I went to a Monsters game where they were playing the Houston Arrows.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the Arrows there's still a lot of love I think for the Arrows here in the city. I mean, even though it's been quite some time, I think that if you brought a hockey team here, you got a lot of people who have been pushing for one. I know there's a couple of groups on Twitter, NHL to Houston, and some other guys who have been pushing for one. We did a video a while back. Shout out to Hector. But yeah, I think that there's a fan base here for it. I absolutely do. And then any chance that we get to have another team that we can play against a Dallas opponent, we want it. So I think we would definitely be happy for that and get a chance to root against the Stars and give us a reason to. I definitely think that we will.
And then my other question is, if the Astros win the World Series this year, or make a deep playoff run, do you think that means everyone has to shut up about the whole cheating scandal and stop throwing?
I think when they backdoored, because it was it the year after? I don't think it was the next year. It might have been the year after that when they went back and ended up losing. I mean, that to me that tells you, because there was none of that. All that the scandal was out there in the open. They put up a solid push. Had what's his name now kind of got injured. I think it would have been a different outcome. I think what it is I mean, down here in Houston, we're kind of like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a point where, all right, get over it. Everybody cheats and everybody knows it. The Yankees had a whole situation where their whole cheating expose is in an envelope, and they're going to court to keep it from being unsealed. You know, that there's some shit going on with them. That the Red Sox have done it. I think they had the electronic situation. It's always teams with something, but I think that most of those teams, when they got caught or when they didn't have that success with it, right? I mean, fucking beating on a trash can, that's the most primitive ass shit I've ever heard. You still got to hit that motherfucker. Like, I mean, so it's like, I get it, and I get why everybody's allegedly upset, but the Astros are a talented team, period. You know what I mean? Even with losing some of the bigger names that they have, they're still doing fairly well for themselves. So I would think that the rest of the nation would get over it, but they're not. They're going to just, it gives them something to bitch about, especially, Yankees fans, especially LA fans, because Houston is not, even though we are a larger city, we're looked at like a very small market. And so, people try to push that.
Kind of like we are.
Yeah. And so they just push that narrative, and they just, they're cheaters, and get the fuck over it, And so.
I mean, you guys did beat us in the 2018 ALDS.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy thing, but I mean, the thing is, it just beat them, and that's the kind of how I look at it. But.
Yeah. I wish I could be on here for the pregame and the postgame, but I just don't think the timing will work out since I'm actually going to be at the stadium.
Yeah, and crowd noise and things like that will definitely make it difficult. I don't know about y'all, but I know sometimes signal can be a little sketchy when you're at the stadium and you got all those people around, so it can be kind of hard to do those things. So.
I'll check in on your live stream, and I might pop in on the chat and just so I'm around.
Okay. Okay, definitely appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I'll try and like pop in and maybe at halftime or something if I'm able to. I can jump in on if you're doing. I don't know if you're doing like some sort of in-game live stream, but maybe I can do something. During halftime where
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. Usually what we do during the games is we have a Discord for like the special sauce, and a lot of us will be in there. We'll kind of do that in the game. I've been saying I'm gonna do something for halftime. I might need to start doing that, but definitely let's stay connected, and then maybe we can work something out. Depending on what's going on, you might have a lot of shit to talk, or might not have to,
Yeah.
depending on what happens. So we'll see. But yeah, we can definitely make something like that happen. I think that'll be a great idea.
Yeah. The next time we play the AFC South, we'll be back in Houston. The only reason we're playing you guys this season is because we both finished in third place. Yeah, I like to look. I don't know about you, but I like to look at the intricacies of like why we play certain teams. Like that's fun for me.
Yeah, because like I said, it seems like recently we've been seeing a lot of each other recent last few years.
That's how I felt like with another YouTuber I work with, Gangrene David. He's a New York Jets fan. There was a stretch of time where I felt like I was doing a video collaboration with him every year. Hey, by the way, would you happen to know any good Detroit Lions YouTubers or New England Patriots YouTubers that you would recommend that I reach out to?
I can't say that I do. I know we have some New England guys who come through here from time to time just to chop it up in the chat. So what I will do is next time I see one of them, maybe I can ask them, and maybe they can pass that info along, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you if they have some suggestions. But I don't know any personally that I do. But like I say, I'll look around and see what I can come up with.
What about Detroit?
I have no idea. Detroit's a terrible place.
Because I'm trying to do a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule this season. So I'm just trying to see if I can find some for some of these teams. Like I already know who I'm going to work with for Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, Baltimore. I've reached out to a couple Chicago guys, connected with a Minnesota guy and an LA guy, but I'm not sure who I'm going to work with for the Broncos or the Patriots or Lions right now.
Yeah, I definitely don't know. I'll be honest, I don't venture too far outside of the H-Town. And I don't even venture I don't venture too far outside of the sauce. Like I say, there's some other good H-Town YouTubers I'm not knocking, but like I say, honestly, I don't venture too far outside the sauce though. So that's kind of where I'm at. So.
Okay.
But man, like I said, guys, if y'all don't have nothing else, it's about that time. We'll get ready to wrap it up. But I want to say shout out to another great stream with Mr. UngarToTheMax. Shout out to y'all who went and subscribed to the channel, got him to 400. Y'all are I wouldn't say y'all the freshest sauce, but y'all some special ingredients. I rocks with y'all, but I definitely thank y'all again. Thank you, Mr. Unger. I appreciate you. But with that being said, y'all know how we do this thing. We'll be in the den at 9 p.m. Central, so if y'all want to slide in the den, we'll be talking some controversial stuff there. denshowlive.com. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool, Sauce Nation. But most of all, y'all stay saucy, and we are out of here till Sunday pregame, hour before the game pregame on Sunday. So.